Good morning. So this morning I'm out and about. I took my mother to the eye doctor, and then I came here to Kibbutz Kinneret to pick up something from my sister, and I'm going back up to pick up my mother. So it's just kind of been out and about. I'm going to show you the view from here. So I came in the back way. My sister lives in Kibbutz Kinneret, which is in the Jordan Valley. So that's the kibbutz behind me. So I came in the back way, and this is the view. This morning, woke up with all sorts of things going on. I'm in my mom's car, so, because I took her. I'm feeling a little bit emotionally overwhelmed. Yesterday I saw my twin in the evening. I went to the hot springs and we ended up meeting there. And this morning I woke up, I don't know, the pain is coming back. But this morning I woke up in this calm, in more of a calm place, and realizing that there's a certain point that you get on this twin flame journey where it quits being so much about your twin and it becomes more about the spiritual awakening. And this morning I was feeling like I was completely connected to that place of feeling like this is way more about where more than feeling like I'm running after my twin, I more feel like, wow, this rising, where are we going with it? I wanted to straight away start recording this morning when I was completely connected to it before I started my day, but I had to get out and get about and take my mother. It's like now it's getting close to 10. And I wrote down all sorts of things, all sorts of thoughts that I was having this morning. Like, we keep rising, but where are we headed? And see, there in this ascension, we're always thinking about, unity with our twin, but that's not the gist of it. You can't be aiming for that because that isn't the goal. The goal is the rising. And where are we rising to? Because we keep on rising and we keep on rising, we keep on rising. And it keeps on getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And what I feel like is that maybe I should drive while I'm doing this. So I left my mother up at the outpatient at the hospital, and my daughter is coming to visit in a little while, so I need to. Everything needs to kind of synchronize this morning. And so the thoughts are like, where are we rising to? When do we know that we got there? Well, first of all, I feel like this whole life is a continuation of rising. We are always consistently growing. Whatever isn't growing is in decline. So, because everything is always in movement. Oh, there's a big truck that I'm going to get behind going up this hill. But I guess that's just what it is. Okay. And so where are we rising to? And I feel like we're rising into a place of bliss. When we get to a place of bliss, then it's like rising into heaven on earth, rising into a place of being self-secure and self-assured and rising into the power of our own being. And only after we get to that point, in any case, can there be unity with our twin, or even, and the thing is, I feel like that when we get to that place, regardless, it doesn't matter if we have unity with our twin or not, because that isn't really the point. And once we get to a place of complete self-security and secure in ourselves, if there's unity or if there isn't unity, it's we're still sitting in that high place of self-worth, of bliss, of being secure in our own selves and enjoying life as one unit, as a being, as completely coming into ourselves and rising into, it's a spiritual awakening. We're rising into our own power. I still have like this pain coming up. And you know, when I consciously think about it, about the pain, like what's causing it, it's really, I think that there's a certain amount of pain that we just have to go through in overcoming ourselves. And whenever we go in really, really deep, we're digging in the muck of all that pain. We're digging out the source of our insecurities, the source of whatever is causing us not to be complete in ourselves. And so then there's pain in there. It's like digging around in the muck. And so where are we rising to? We're rising into a place of heaven on earth. Self-realization, of being in our highest timeline, of being at the soul level, of rising above the ego, of being in full control of our emotions and our destiny and our thoughts. You know, being in full control of what we allow ourselves to feel or to, you know, it's self-control, it's self-reliancy, and as long as we're not in that place, and we can put our finger on the places that we're not in that place, any place that we have fog in our thoughts, any place that things are unclear, any place that we don't know the right choice. When we have all of those things in us, then we're not fully risen into our full self-power. So those are the indicators. Also, when we're not self-reliant, when we are not fully supporting ourselves and we don't feel financially free or free of, you know, when afraid of the world in any way, afraid of confrontation. When we're fully in our higher selves, we're not afraid of confrontation because we have our own beliefs that we stand behind. So we stand behind all of our beliefs because we know that we have figured these beliefs out ourselves and that we're connected to the divine, and the divine has, and through that connection we have found resolve, and we have resolved the questions within us. And so then we are standing, when you're standing in your highest power, you are knowing that you're in your highest power. There is no question about it. It's a knowing. And so as long as you're not in that knowing, you know that you are not yet in that highest place, in your highest place. So there are indicators. When you still have fog in your emotions, or your emotions still take you, and just like they are here even in this video, you know, when the emotions are still taking me and moving me all around, then I am not in complete control of my emotions. If I still have pain in places that I know are false, then, or I still get moved by things that people tell me rather than just being able to weather it and being able to be fluid with it, then I know I'm still not standing in my highest self. So where are we on in this ascension? We're ascending to a place of our highest being, a place of strength, a place of, you know, because when we're at the soul level, everything is strength. There is no weakness in the world. Weakness has no place. There's only straightforward, and everything is as it is because of a reason, because of cause and effect, and because everything is always proceeding. Even death We're born afraid of dying, but death is the only thing that is for certain in this lifetime, death of this body. But when we realize that we're a part of everything, we are eternal. There is no death. It all is natural, and when we overcome death, the fear of death, then we are in the knowing that we are part of the all, and in that is divine security. We're secure completely in ourselves and where we are at. So that is where we're headed. We're headed for bliss. We're headed for the realization that we are a part of everything, for complete security, for control over our thoughts and our emotions, for divinely guided and connected to everything, and divine resolve. It's above the ego, above the illusion that we are separate from. So that's where we're headed to. And once we get to that place, it's a place of it's a place of euphoria. I mean, there's still always discoveries because the universe is so vast and God is eternal and infinity. And so there's infinite places that we can explore and discover and realize. And when we're in the moment, then we are present in this life. We're present with God. We're not in our ego mind. We are outwardly exploring and understanding the universe and present with God, in our own presence, giving the gifts that we have to give to the world, but also in taking. It's kind of like a divine cycle, and allowing the universe to lead us to where we need to be next without having the constant pressure of what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to think? Oh no, I'm feeling this. Oh no. Imagine that our whole lives only take place in our minds. They don't place. I'm surrounded by trucks. Closing the windows so that window doesn't work from here. And so our whole lives only take place in our minds. I mean, think of it. All we are is a piece of meat moving around the earth, on top of the earth. If you go zoom out and you look from the top, there is no storyline. It's just, oh, there's that being. When you look at other people, you just see their being. You don't see their whole story. So however they present themselves, that's the story that you're taking. And so we can, in each moment, reinvent our own story and decide that we're telling a completely different story. And when you look back at your own life, there's so many different stories that you can put focus on in your life of how you are, who you are, what you are, what you have come to do. You can change your story in every single instant. You have the power to change your story. With every single meeting of a new person, that you can change your story. And I'm not saying lie about your story, because there's so many different truths and so many different things to put focus on. I can put focus on, if I meet somebody, tell them the story of, oh, poor me, I was born into this and this and that, and we were poor, and alcoholism and all this story. Or I can go into the story and say, hey, I am a spiritual being, I'm strong, I'm becoming, I'm a businesswoman, I've gone through a lot of different things in my life, so I have this large spectrum of knowledge and experiences that I can add value into the world by telling of my experiences and sharing and showing a different way of looking at different experiences. And so there's so many life stories that I can tell. I can tell of sorrow in my childhood, or I can tell of all the joys in my childhood. It is dependent on the perspective that I choose to use, or the glasses that I choose to put on and tell my life story about. That's just, there's so many of these notes that I wrote down here. that I'm wondering if I should even put them all on one. Maybe I should like separate them and put them on different videos, because I see how far this video is coming. And it's just about, that we keep rising, and where are we headed to? We're headed into that place of strength, into our own becoming. And it is more important, and it is the most important. It's more important than the twin flame journey or trying to grasp your twin. I feel like it is the twin flame journey is about the spiritual awakening and about the becoming of myself and about having those reflections of myself, and the pain that I am feeling is essential for my rising, because the pain is bringing up everything in my life that has been painful. The pain is so intense on this journey, and you become so like overwhelmed with pain that a lot of childhood traumas and the pain of your childhood become small in comparison. So it's easy to go through, your other traumas and work through them and become stronger for it, because what choice do we have? And I see that there are a lot of people that at this age group, in our 40s, in our 30s, when my spiritual awakening started, I was in my mid to late 30s, and it's right at the age when you start going through this spiritual awakening, because you start looking for more meaning in life, and you start seeing that there's traumas that are leading you from underneath, and until you resolve them, you're not going to be able to find that inner peace and to truly enjoy your life. So this whole spirit, and I see that I've met a few people that during the spiritual awakening, there is a time of deep depression when you start going through yourself. I'm already back here at the hospital here. I'm at the outpatient, so I'll park and then I'll continue. So I've met a couple of women that didn't make it through the depression, that they took their own lives. And I went through a deep depression where I felt like I just got to this place of complete nothingness. It wasn't, you get to this place where it's just pure numbness. There's nothing there. It's like your whole sense of I is broken down. Your whole ego is broken down to where nothing gives you joy, but nothing even gives you sorrow anymore. You go through this deep sorrow, and to where it was such a depression that I think I was in it for months, and I didn't see, it was just like this black hole. I didn't see the end of it. And then at the bottom of the black hole, it was just this void. There was nothing there. It was like going into nothingness. Nothing moved me in any direction. Nothing gave me joy. Things that I knew, consciously in my mind. Luckily, I'm a strong person and strong-minded. And I've been through a lot of experiences in my life that held me through it. I knew that I knew of things that in the past had given me joy, and I was like, why am I not finding joy in my children, in my artwork, and my parents and family and outings? There was nothing. I quit eating for months, and I started getting like these massive bruises, but from nothing. I wake up in the morning with this massive bruise on the back of my leg, where just like from nothing. I'm going through security at the hospital. And so you go through this period of nothingness, And I feel like, and then after you go through that, you start building yourself slowly, slowly, slowly. You start coming up into a place of,
احكي مع الجوفيه انا مفتاح ما خصنيش باليتسيون احكي مع الجوفيه ما خصنيش انا باليتسيون
I say, I think
انا
this
لو
is
ما
going to
تعرف
open for
اليتسيون
me automatically. Yeah. Yeah, because my father is considered handicapped, so this car, it recognizes the car. So I need to go find a parking spot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this so I can call my mother and let her know that I'm here. Oh, you know what? I can even park in a handicapped spot. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and then I'll re-record. This was a good point that was made here. I feel like it was channeled through pretty good, and so I have these other points that I want to make, and I will make them on a separate video. So thank you for watching.